What's up, guys? Matty here with 25 books to unbox from CGC, but not all 25 of them are going to be encapsulated because I did a bad job. Let's see how badly I did next. All right, guys, welcome back. Again, Matty here, your host of Comics. Thanks for joining me either live here or on the replay. Welcome, everybody. I don't do that many videos anymore, or these days rather, but when I do, it's usually a CGC unboxing. Today's no exception. We've got a 25-book modern pre-screen from CGC. And what's a pre-screen, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's an option whereby you can designate a grade, a target grade that you want all of your books to be graded at. And if they fail to achieve that minimum grade, they will return to you raw without any encapsulation. So why do this? Well, a couple reasons. You save a bit of money on the ones that don't get encapsulated. They charge you an $8 non-encapsulation fee. With CBCS, it's free for the most part when you miss a grade. With CGC, you do have to pay $8 a book, but it's better than like $21 for the encapsulation. And sometimes you don't want to have that book in a 9.6 or a 9.4. You only want it to be graded if it is a 9.8. So it's kind of a good safety net, particularly like I press my own books, and sometimes it saves me some time to just sort of, maybe I'll have a modern book that I don't bother with a quick press. I just want to sort of try my luck and send it off for a pre-screen. Gives you a safety net where it's like, if it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, that's not the end of the world. So, and you save yourself some time with the pressing. So let's see if there's anybody in the chat here hanging out. A couple people in the room. Welcome, guys. Feel free to say hello in the chat. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I also have a few other books I might open if we're still hanging out at the end of this unboxing. Some raw books to open from some Instagram community members. But this is just sort of, whenever the other thing about pre-screen books is that you have to submit 25 at a time. So you cannot. Hey, Danny's here. What's up, Danny? Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining. You can not submit any fewer than 25. So when you choose the grade that you're going for, whether it's 9.6, 9.8, or whatever. Hey, Jonathan's in the house too. What's up, JMA? Thanks for joining, guys. So you can't submit less than 25. So what I do is I sort of create a section after a press. Jonathan wants to know which of these books are going to be on sale. I need to get his bin fingers ready. Well, I'll tell you, Jonathan, most of these books are available for sale. What's up, Smokey? How's it going? I think most of these are for sale. There's one that I have in mind that I kind of want to keep in the PC. It's a Ghost Rider book. Other than that, it's the kind of thing where you guys can like message me if you're interested in something, if you happen to be watching right now or watching on the replay. I do have a live sale coming up this Sunday on Instagram. So this is kind of an unofficial invitation that if you see a book that you like, chances are it's available for sale, and chances are I am going to let you have it for just under fair market value. So whatever you see available on eBay as a price, I'm like Best Buy. I'll beat the price. I'll beat the best eBay price. I think on almost all of these books. So keep that in mind when you're watching. Maybe you can get first dibs by just sneaking into my DMs over on Instagram at Comic Sales. You can do that. You can express interest in this chat, although this is not a sale video. So it's not like, I don't think we're going to make any deals in the next half hour or so per se, but you can let me know you're interested and message me and we can maybe come to a deal. But all that being said, like I said, I do have a live sale on Instagram this Sunday, which is February 26th, 2 days from now. Should be going on 8 or 9 p.m. on Sunday night this week. And I've got a lot of Something is Killing the Children slabs. I know that's heated up in the past week, so a lot of those are going to be available for sale that I already have in my inventory. But these books I got back from CGC will also be available in the sale. All right. That being said, looks like we did not get a perfect submission because we have raw books and quite a few raw books inside. You never like to see the raw books in a CGC Prescreen unboxing, but hey, at least I have them back. At least the books are back. Hopefully they didn't damage them or whatever. I do feel that they are shaking in this box, which is like a super amateur move. There's one tip I can give you as a comic book seller or shipper. Just don't let them move in the freaking box. CGC amateurs. All right. Anyway, so we'll see how those raw books did. But let's look at the graded books first, and then we'll see what failed. We'll see which books failed. So I'll save you the suspense. I'm really bad these days at withholding the results of these unboxings from myself. I basically, when I know that they're like about to be graded, I'm like refreshing the CGC page like 5 times a day. So I'm terrible. I have no discipline anymore when it comes to blind unboxings. Maybe occasionally, if I know it's going to be a really fun blind unboxing with some really high drama, I'll hold off on checking the grades. But with a pre-screen, I just couldn't help it. It's either going to be 9.8 or it's not, right? So it's 9.8 or a reject. Make you feel really bad about yourself. Like, I'm a reject. I'm a reject for not having a perfect submission. The last 25 book submission I gave, I submitted was 24 for 25, which was pretty exceptional. Patting myself on the back. I have had a perfect 25 for 25 before. I did call it, right, Jonathan? I called it with my friends Jonathan and Mikey that I thought this was going to be my worst pre-screen yet. Probably the worst record, and I think it is. I think this is the worst I've done. I went 16 for 25, which is still, I'm being a little over dramatic. It's not terrible. It's not, I'm not beating myself up too bad because like I said, I did use this pre-screen as kind of a time saver, like a safety net. So it's like, I wasn't super precious about the grades. These are all my books. They're not anybody else's books, no clients, no customers or whatever. So I was a little loosey-goosey with it, and I knew I was, rolling the dice with a few of these and, win some, lose some, but at least it's more than half. At least more than half came back 9.8. So as always, we'll be checking for the books and also the sort of quick quality control. Like, did they encapsulate the book upside down? Did they encapsulate it right side up? Did they misprint something on the label? Did they remember to put newsstand edition on a newsstand like they said they were going to? That kind of thing. So we'll check for that stuff real quick too and see if we can bust CGC a little bit in the process. All right, so 16 9.8 slabs coming out. Here we go, guys. What do we got first? We have an ASM 300 Mexican foil edition, blue label. As many of you know, I submitted 2 of these to the McFarlane signing. I got one back 9.8 signed by Todd, which I sold to our buddy Rom, who goes by Iz on Instagram. He bought that one. Still have a 9.9 available of this, signed by the Todd father. Still remaining in my inventory, and it's available on a claim post on my Instagram page. Make offers if you want your 9.9 McFarlane. But this is just a regular run-of-the-mill 9.8, none too shabby. Let's check the quality. Mexican edition El Quinto Mundo. Case looks fine. I'm doing this, guys, so that I can save myself time later. I don't have to QC it later. I mean, it's okay. I'll accept this, but look at the streakiness on the back. I'm not thrilled with that. I'm not thrilled with it. I'm going to put it to the side of a, if there's another book in here that has a major flaw, I might send that back in for a reholder because that's kind of bullshit. I don't like that. All right, let's see what else. I'm pretty tired, by the way, guys. You can just assume that whenever you see me, I'm really tired because I've got a newborn at home. All right, here we have a Ultimate Fallout 4 facsimile edition Djurjevic Virgin. I think this is like my 5th 9.8 of this. Not really like trying too hard to sell them because I think they're undervalued, and I kind of like this book as a Miles spec book because it's limited. It is the beloved Djurjevic cover, and it's the cheapest way to get the Djurjevic cover in your collection. So obviously the Djurjevic is for the 1 in 25 Ultimate Fallout 4. This is just a facsimile, but it is a fairly limited print run, and I like stacking them in 9/8. So there you go. That slab looks okay. Variant edition fact. Wouldn't it be crazy if they didn't catch that it was? Yeah. Okay. Variant edition facsimile. Okay. Never mind. If they just said Ultimate Fallout 4 or Djurjevic. Okay, this is the one that I think I might keep in the personal collection. Ghost Rider #1, second print, 9.8. Super happy this got the 9.8. I'm just a real fan of this second print UPC down here. Seems to be similarly rare to, you know, the newsstand variant in high grade, and it's just super appealing to me to have some additional art down there rather than a barcode, or like the regular Spidey head or whatever. So, and I also like that it's sort of panoramic. It's horizontal, you know. It's a nicely shaped piece of art there. I wonder who did that skull. Might have been Saltares who did the cover. But obviously this is the first Denny catch, Ghost Rider, and the slab looks okay. I don't like that it has a mark down here. See that? Right out of the bag. You know, it's like, why? Why can you not avoid these things? So it's not terrible, but I'm going to put it in the not ideal slab pile because this could be a trend. Okay. Next, we have a good old Venom 3. First null. Aru, doo, doo, aru. Adu. Adu. Davey. Davey's in the house. What's going on, Dave? West Coast Avengers. He's in the house with them comics. Smokey says, is it a mark or a scratch in the plastic? It's like a rub. It's sort of like it's essentially like a scratch. It's like if you rubbed like a piece of plastic. It's probably like one case rubbing into another case. That's probably what it is. And they're just sort of flinging them around and all willy-nilly over at CGC with their quality control people that they hired off the street for minimum wage. Oh, we don't know how to handle slabs. I'd like to see that. Oh, he certainly showed me. The title of the video makes me think I still like CGC. Well, I still submit to them a lot. First appearance of Null in a 9.8. How'd this slab come out? There's a little mark on the plastic in the same area as the other ones. Less obtrusive, but still annoying. Put that in the pass pile. When CGC really messes up like a crack or a major clerical error, they will make it right. They'll let you ship back for free, and they'll re-encapsulate it for free and ship it back to you for free. So that will happen, but I have like 4 slabs with them right now that are all waiting to be re-encapsulated for the same reasons. I think I lost a lot of people with that Simpsons impression. Static #1. All right. For a while, I thought mistakenly that this was a newsstand copy. This is actually more or less the cover A. Like, we all know that collector's edition because we're sort of used to this being the polybag book, the one that comes out of the polybag. But this is the one which was not polybagged, and there actually is a newsstand version with a barcode down here. So this is not newsstand, but it's still a first appearance of Static, which is pretty cool. I got a 9.8. I got a 9.8. And again, it's a similar area that there's a tiny little dot of a mark. It's just weird that all of it must be manufacturing on the holders themselves, maybe, that are getting these marks. It's just weird. There's like a QC problem before they even use the holder. All right, that was we're up to 5 slabs. We got 11 more to look at. Okay, this one is a Vampirella Mind Warp #1. Just a cool Vampirella variant that I liked a lot from Bird City. It's a virgin, not bloody likely. Another pet peeve. I'm just going to keep shitting on CGC. That's what this is going to turn into. Center the grade. Can we center the grade? We are a grading company. The grades should be centered in the box. Thank you. Bird City Comics Edition. Same place on the slab. Marked in the same place. You see that? I mean, it's not like, send it back necessarily, but it's like, it's a trend. Every single one has a mark on the same position of the slab, greater or small, to a greater or smaller degree. That's a cover by Jorge Monreal. Really nice cover. I'm going to skip ahead to this one because it's related. This one is the metal edition of the same book, which is also pretty cool. 9/8. We have a different little variety of a scuff on this one. Just some fun stuff going on down here. Great. Okay. I'm going to lose it, guys. I'm going to lose my shit today. Just kidding. All right, what else? We have, okay, this one's cool. Peach Momoko. This is an early Peach Champions #1. This is from December of 2020. Same scuff, same place. And I think I'll just call them on the phone and be like, give me money, because I don't want to send the entire case back to you. I'm just gonna give them a piece of my mind. The people in customer service are really nice. But this is a cool book, 1 in 50 Peach Momoko early variant. All the next gen you want on here. You got the Miles, you got the Sam, you got the Kamala, you got and the rest. I don't know. I forget which character that is. Botan, maybe? Monica Rambeau. She looks like a teenager. I don't know. And the other one looks like maybe Wasp. All right. Speaking of next gen, I have Champions #1, Alex Ross from Germany. Crappy grading company, yes. Smokey says, if it was on the back and probably care very little for being on it if the front bother you greatly. Yeah. I care very little. That's okay, Smokey. I get it. Yeah, I know what you mean. If the scuffing's on the back, not such a big deal. On the front, it kind of blows. Same place, same scuff. Can you guys help me understand why, 16 books would have the same scuffing position? Like at what point in the process does this happen repeatedly to every slab? It's got to be manufacturing of the holders, right? Because they wouldn't mishandle them the same way every time. I think it's a manufacturing thing that they let slide. But at any rate, this is a German edition, so it's not I think the original Alex Ross is like a 1 in 100 for this cover, which is pretty badass. But this is definitely something I would be trying to sell with the Alex Ross signing coming up in mind, because this would be a nice book to get Alex Ross signed. I'm not going to submit it myself necessarily, but could be a good option for somebody else. Here is a Star Wars High Republic book. On a level of spec, I am personally hoping that Black Blender Bloss, that works. Smoky, more than likely manufacturing, unless they're stacking them the exact same way by hand and it's hitting the exact same spot. Right. This is a 1 in 10 on Star Wars High Republic Adventures 2. It's funny how we collectors and key collector and whatnot, we call attention to all of the little first appearances. I think this is Martian Row. I think this is like a pretty big relatively big first appearance in this book that CGC does not give a fuck about. They don't give a fuck about these Star Wars characters because, I mean, almost every issue has first appearances in these things. But I think this one is, I'm surprised about this one because, you know, pretty collected character with a lot of speculation on her. And, you know, if you're wondering, yes, it does have scuff marks in the same place. But I was saying that I think the Star Wars Celebration, I mean, watching the Star Wars Celebration event next month will be similar, I think, to, you know, watching the James Gunn announcements for the DCU. I think that we'll get announcements about movies being made, and I am expecting High Republic news personally. So I'm kind of excited because I have a lot of High Republic slabs in my collection. This is cool. I might try to keep this one, but if someone's interested, I'll let it go. This is a Silver Surfer Black #1 IG Comic Store edition. Just a really nice cover by Scott Williams. And it also, one thing I really like about this Surfer cover is you got a dope cover from Scott Williams. You have sort of a vintage trade dress going on. And then you've got a Mike Allred Surfer up here, which I love. I love me some Allred. And you've got here the main dude, Trad Moore, right? That's the main person on the series. So I like how you've got 3 different artists doing Surfer on one cover. Almost looks like a Mark Brooks, but meets Trad Moore or something. I like that Scott Williams cover. Does it have the defect? I'm not going to show you, but yeah, similar area. It seems like to be lightening up a little bit now. So maybe in the run, if we're thinking it's manufacturing, it's getting a little lighter now. Maybe the rest of them won't have it. Let's see. Okay, I got 2 copies of this. I had a lot of these. This is the Joker Man You Stop Laughing #3 Bermejo cover, instant classic Joker Santa cover. I bought like 10 copies of this. I think I bought 5 pre-order, and then it kind of started blowing up to like a $10 book, and then I bought 10 more, and I submitted 2 of them. So 9/8 on both of them. Still have the little scuff on the bottom left for that copy. And the second copy, same scuff, bottom left. Great. All right, we have 3 more 9/8. What up, Senny? What's going on, my friend? And we have 3 more 9/8, and then I will show you the raw books that did not make 9/8, and I will be Davey loves wearing a vintage trade dress. Me too. Who doesn't love a vintage trade dress? Smokey wishes they'd start doing art corner boxes and price code boxes again. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the coolest things about that Todd Father run on ASM is like individual UPC art, right? It's one of the reasons why, even though the newsstands are more rare, the direct editions are kind of cool because you get more art with them, and it's unique art too. All right, I've got a Spider-Gwen Gwenverse #2. That's a 1 in 100. It's one of these books that, like, you know, it's a 1 in 100, so it's an expensive raw book, and I probably tried to sell it for a couple weeks, and it was really minty, no takers, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna stick it in with my 9/8 Prescreen selection, and now we got a 9/8. So cool first Spider-Gwen as a Wolverine-ish character, and it's a Momoko cover, and I think it's pretty badass. And that one has a similar scuff in a similar place. This one I'm very excited about. Spawn Thank You variant. This is one I would love to keep, but probably can't afford to. Just such a great rare Todd book with some nice shiny foil goodness. It's one of the books he will not sign, apparently. I don't really know why. Maybe because it was meant as a thank you to retailers, so he doesn't want to encourage aftermarket on it or something. But man, does it shine good. It shines good. All those little like spikes and chains and stuff are all shiny and goodness. It's good shit. And then check out this back. Woo! Oversized. I mean, I know it's like, it's very Pavlovian when we see any Todd McFarlane homage. It's like, more, bing, more, bing, more, bing, more. More. That's how I feel about Todd McFarlane homages. So it's like, oh, this is a pretty cool homage. Oh, more homage. Right? But yeah, it is cool. It is kind of a jarring effect when you see the same thing bigger on the back cover. We say thanks. Thanks. So cute. Thanks, Todd. Oh, you. Sunny, it's why I always preferred extra art box instead of barcode. Right. I mean, that's the thing, Sunny, is that rarer than the thanks variant. That is the thanks variant. What a beauty. Thank you, Sunny. Well, that is the thing. I remember I was starting to get back into comics in 2019. Maybe late 2018, 2019. And it was a thing. Like, I remember Comic Tim's brother, Comic Tom, talking about it like it might be a thing that newsstands might get more valuable because I think they're rarer. Like, they were literally talking about that in 2019. I mean, maybe people in the know knew that, knew to collect newsstands if they wanted a scarcer thing. But as a kid, I was always really confused because I was like, yeah, you want the cool little Spidey logo or you want the extra art there. What's the difference and how do we track it? And, although that whole question was very undecided as recently as 2019. And it just took off in a major way. There's two, you think one says thank you, one says thanks? Whoa. Well, it's still called... Huh. I'll have to look into that. I mean, I thought it was the Spawn Thanks variant because it's the issue number is THX or thanks. So it's literally called the Spawn Thanks variant. Whether you mean that there's two different things that Spawn is saying on the back, that's very intriguing, and I wasn't aware of that, if that's the case. But also the background here is also saying thanks. But let me know, Dave, if you can confirm that there's a different version of the back cover art and if that is indeed rarer. And finally, guys, I have Invincible 135. It's a Diamond Retailer Summit from 2017, Chicago Diamond Retailer Summit. And it's just a cool mashup of this is 2017. We're all up in the Spider-Verse madness now with like literally every variation on Spider-Gwen you can have. But back in 2017, they were having fun with this mashup with Spider-Gwen and Invincible. And so that's a cool book. I think... Is it true? Davey would probably know. Is it true that the regular issue 135 is also this cover? It may be that is the regular cover, and then it's just a sketch version of that cover. Either way, I really like it. I had to wrestle with myself whether or not to bother with like a custom label. You could either get a Spider-Gwen custom label with this, or you could get an Invincible custom label with this. But Invincible would be weird because it's not Invincible on the cover, and Spider-Gwen custom label looks terrible because they centered it behind the sticker. So you can't see all of the art. It's just a really bad custom, unfortunately. And this one is probably the least scuffed case. All right, good job, QC. So we got 1 out of 16 that has no scuffing on this bottom left corner. I'm going to give those Customer service reps a piece of my mind. To the moon, CGC. All right, let's look at the raw book so you can see what I failed to get graded. Dave was wrong. Wrong! Only the one. Oh well. There's a colored variant. Well, I don't have the variant. I have the cool regular version. Hope that's good enough for you, David. Moving these slabs around. So thanks for watching, guys. If you just wanted to see those beautiful slabbages, then you know, thanks for joining. If you want to keep watching, let's see what I failed with. While we're at it, slap the like button and the subscription button. You can subscribe for more videos like this if you'd like to. And also catch me on Instagram on MM Comic Sales, where I do weekly live claim sales and auctions. This week's will be on Sunday, the 26th, at around 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So like I said, they package these raw books like terribly, like just shaking around in a Gemini. So we'll hope for the best. All right, here's what did not get a 9.8. All right, and I will do a brief reflection and introspection on my shortcomings in submitting these books, or I'll say, what the fuck are they thinking not grading this 9.8? Okay, first up, we have a Star Wars Adventure 7 retailer incentive. This one I will be definitely resubmitting because this sometimes happens as a seller. It's sort of like you sell a book, it comes back to you, you sell it, it comes back to you. Like this thing, I think I literally found this in a shop in California for $4. But it went crazy valuable last year or the year before to like a $1,200 9.8 book. I graded it 9.8. Actually, it might not have been the same copy. I've had a couple copies of this. I graded one 9.8 CGC. I sold it. I graded another one CBCS 9.8. Sold that. This was the CBCS 9.8. But then my same friend who bought the CBCS book from me put it back up for auction on like mycomicshop.com or something because he was just liquidating a bunch of stuff. And he let me know about it. He's like, hey, if you want to buy this back, it's going to go for a steal on my comic shop. So lo and behold, it went for a steal. I got it for like, I don't know, very cheap as a 9.8, but it's the same copy that I graded in the first place. And then just to sort of like tempt fate, I cracked that CBCS slab to try to cross over to CGC because it's such an undervalued book right now. This is the first Rebels cover of all the Rebels. When Ahsoka comes around, this book's going to shoot up again. In my opinion, I have time to try again with this. But, you know, the reality is that, man, there seems to be a spine tick on the back that wasn't there before. It's a shame, but I probably took this right out of the CBCS slab and then put it right into the pre-screen, which is why, like, it just needs another quick press. And then the one spine tick on the back cover will be forgiven. You know what I mean? Because it's like got general waviness, right? Just the general waviness with the spine tick, I think, is why they didn't pass it. When I get it all to be pristine looking except that one spine tick, they're going to pass it. So there's one that's definitely going back. Again, I'm trying to be efficient with making YouTube videos so that I can hang out with you guys and have content that's interesting, but also I'm kind of doing work that I would be doing otherwise while I'm talking to you guys. So basically, I'm going to see which ones I want to resubmit and which ones I don't. Here's an ASM 607. Let's see how this looks. This looks pretty good. This is one of those right on the fence. Man, it's so close. The thing is, this is the thing. Oh, I see what probably did it. There's a couple things that are really borderline on this. Like, see this like long edge on the right side? check the right edge right in here. There's like a very long, I'm trying to get the reflection right, sorry. It's like using a mirror backwards. It's really confusing. It's hard to see. I'm trying to get the reflection right. There. You can see that long parallel edge with the right side. Anyway, it kind of runs up and down the book, and it looks like kind of just the way the book was manufactured, but they might be counting it against it. Am I going to find grader's notes on these? Not bloody likely. Not a chance. They'll never give almost never give grader's notes on a 9.6, let alone a rejected one from a prescreen. So I will not know why they chose to not pass this one, but it's on the edge. It's on the edge. It's the kind of book where, you know, if one of you guys was like, I really want like a 9.6 raw copy of that book and I want to pay a fair market price, I'd probably sell it to you. But if not, I'm happy to just take another swing at this. But one thing that drives me crazy is they just waste the bag and board by putting a sticker on it. So I can't use this anymore. So there goes another 25 cents of my life. Okay, Hulk 181. I wasn't really expecting this to get a 9.8. It's another Mexican foil. Let's check the comments. Wasn't here for anything specific, just happened to notice he got on, checking it out. Right on. I have books I probably should grade, kind of want graded, but hate the thought of not getting the grade I was hoping for, but still paying $8 for nothing. Yeah. It's kind of a numbers game. I mean, I get it, like, because I'm essentially a dealer, like, I just deal with high volumes, right? So I can kind of absorb that $8 here and there, and it's saving me money because I want to go for the 9.8, and I'd rather pay $8. Anyway, I already went through that whole philosophy on it, but I get what you mean. Like, and if you don't care about the grading company, if you maybe prefer CBCS or want to give that a shot, keep in mind that you can do a pre-screen with CBCS without any penalty. This is the deal with CBCS. Unlike CGC, you do not need a 25 book minimum, right? You can submit 10 books pre-screen, and you can mix and match your target grades. So you could have, I want this one to be 9.4 or better. I want this one to be 9.6 or better. I want this one to be 9.8. They're completely flexible on all that. And the rejects are free as long as you have a 70% or better pass rate on your entire submission, right? So if you submitted 10 books and you had 2 rejects, they would both be free. I think if you had 3 rejects, they'd be free. If you had 4 rejects, you'd be paying like $5 for each of those. It's also cheaper than the CGC reject fee. So in all of those ways, CBCS is way more flexible with the pre-screen process. It's just not the grading company I prefer right now, mostly because of A, resale value, B, presentation of the label. Davey, if you're Massage Ventures, you get grader's notes on a 9.8. That's right, he did, didn't he? He got grader's notes on a 9.8. That's rare. That's like as rare as getting a Gem Mint 10, getting grader's notes on a 9.6, let alone a 9.8. Gaze, Wolverine Andale edition, Andale. That's right. Yeah, this is a cool book. I will probably not try to submit again because it just has a couple of it has like 2 ticks on the spine. Hard to see with this lighting, but it's just the kind of thing. It's like, it's really hard to correct defects on a foil, especially on the spine. It's just too deep, and it's hard to get it right. That's what she said. So that one I probably won't be resubmitting. Let's see. Daniel says, I didn't fail. Last few modern submissions of mine are averaging 60 to 70% 9.8 when I've always been at 80 to 90. One's not getting 9.8 or getting 9.6. Very interesting, Danny. Thanks for that feedback. I was being a little facetious with the failure comment just because, A, I already knew what I got. I got essentially, what's 16 divided by 25? It's better than half, right? It's 64%. So I did okay. It's just my previous submission was 24 for 25, so I have a very high bar for myself. But yeah, I do think they're cracking down a little bit. My buddy's recent submissions were a little harder on moderns as well. Let's check out this Venom 7 Secret Tongue variant. If you didn't know that the Secret Tongue variant is where his tongue goes all the way. Oh God, I can't do this mirrored thing. This is like a brain teaser trying to trace this. Um, the tongue is longer on the secret variant. And yeah, this is just that's the thing with guys with 9698. So often it comes down to like a coin toss, you know. There's some, of course, that you're like, man, that is a shoe-in. But there's a lot that are just coin tosses, and it's worth a resub. I mean, do I keep trying with this one with a corner that looks like this? I don't know. It's right on the edge for me. Like this one might take like 3 submissions to get a 9.8, you know, rather than 1 or 2. It's just a numbers game after a while. And like I said, if you're doing high enough volume, I could literally just take this, put it in my submission bin, wait till I have 25 books, ship them off again, and just wash, rinse, repeat, right? But I'm not sure. It's not such a big key that I'm like that worried about it one way or the other. But I might take another swing at it. I also have a bunch of books that are going out, so I'm going to be using some of these books to fill out my next 25 book submission, right? So if I have like 22 books ready to go that work as a pre-screen 9.8, and I'm just looking for 3 more to throw in there and try my luck with, then I know which ones I'm going to pull from. Okay, here's another copy of Venom 3 that didn't get the 9.8. So I did get one first print 9.8. 10 people in the room. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's great to have you here. I wasn't really expecting that to see that many of you here because I do everything very last minute. I appreciate you guys following me in my crazed schedule here. Checking out what they saw that didn't pass on this book. Man, this one looks good. Okay, so this is another one, just a real coin toss situation. It looks absolutely perfect to me, except for this one thing right here on the middle of the spine back cover. Right there. Middle spine back cover. Only defect. One grader might say it's a 9.8. One grader might say it's a 9.6. Definitely going to try this again. And you can kind of see it on the front cover, but not as much because of the white. The white background. Danny says, intentionally trying to limit 9.8s. Well, I can't say that I mind it. I just wish we had consistency because I mean, I think it's a good thing to have a high standard for a 9.8. You know what I mean? For the whole hobby. But the fact is they haven't had that high standard very consistently in the last 10 years. So Dave says, why keep pumping money into a book? Just sell the damn thing and move on. That is a very decent suggestion, my friend, and I will take it to heart. Believe me. Mikey, fool those CGC goons. See, Mikey's the opposite. Even though Mike Carmen is 100% out of grading, he's a good friend of mine who is literally his username on Instagram used to be Slabs and Paper, and now it's just Paper. Just kidding. No, he's experimenting with the name, but Slabs is no longer part of the name because he does not believe in slabs, and he has 0. Are you down to 0, Mikey? Mikey's been culling all of his slabs and selling them all to me. I think he might be down to 0 or 1 slab left in his collection. But he just wants me to game the system and fool the goons, fool the CGC goons, just for the sheer joy of it, just for sport, on principle, because of the sheer subjectivity of the whole thing. Venom 3 third print. You know, in full disclosure, this is my second time. So in my 24 for 25 submission previously, this was the one reject, and it is rejected again. Why? Why did it get the double reject? I really like this book. I like the character of Null, both as a character and as speculation. And I really like this third printing because it's got front and center on the cover and super low print run compared to the first print. So I really just want to keep trying with this. I just want to, third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. Let's go. We'll see. I'm not promising I'm resubmitting any of these. Justice League Dark #1. I'm just saying that looking at them objectively, they have a decent shot, right? This is a really tough 9.8, even with an easy CGC grader. There's always, I expect it was probably in the distribution of this book originally, that there's always these little spine ticks right in the center of the spine here. You see it sometimes in new books. It's just like how the book was printed, how it was shipped, whatever. I bet that's got to be it because it's just so hard to find perfect copies of this. This is one I'm not going to try again. It was just kind of a roll of the dice. It's probably a very solid 9.6. It's just going to be a tough 9.8. And I'm not going to try again with this copy, but I do really want to get a 9.8 with this book at some point. So that one, all right, that one's not in the running. Another copy of the Static, we got one 9.8 and the other one didn't pass. Let's take a quick look. Looks pretty good to me. This one's going to go back. I mean, the thing, Davey, like, sell it and move on, yes. But we're talking about the difference between, what, like $40 raw, maybe 50, and 200, right? I mean, more or less. It's just, and here's the thing. I mean, Davey and I talk about this all the time. All my friends talk about, different philosophies about grading in general and selling raw or graded. I mean, there's a dude on Instagram, Mr. Franks, great seller, has great books, good prices, etc. You can tell that dude does not grade books, at least not modern books, because his whole thing is he prices them. He puts a lot of raws up for sale and says 9.6, 9.8 candidate. And then he prices it right in the middle of where basically the price of a graded 9.6 and 9.8 would be. So he's getting that premium without getting it actually graded. It's not a bad idea. It's just generally not the way I do things. Now, the problem with getting everything graded is that you have a liquidity issue. Slabs don't move as quickly as raws because they're more expensive. And because other people don't have the same upside that we do when we buy a raw, because I can convert it from being a $40 book into a $200 book, right? But how easy is it to move that $200 book? That's another question. So these are all just things I think about, and mostly when I see a 9.8 potential in a key book, I want to make it a 9.8. That's just my general logic. This was just a total mistake on my part. I got it as part of like a lot, and this is a second printing of We Live 5. We Live is like super cold right now. Apparently this is a big key issue, like first appearance of the Palladians or something. But it was rare in a first print, not so much in a second print. And I got it. I tried to get it graded, and I'm kind of glad it was rejected, but I could have saved myself $8 because this thing does not need to be in a 9.8. So that's a big old reject. So that's everything, guys, in my 9.8 submission. Do you guys have any thoughts, opinions, theories, fears, concerns, paranoias? That's what my math teacher used to say in math class. Thoughts, concerns, fears, paranoias. Davey says, who's looking for null and static slabs right now, though? Are you saying that because you feel like not a lot of people are? Because I feel like people are. I feel like people are actively speccing on both of those characters right now. Relatively. Like relative to, I don't know, Ben Riley or something. I don't know. Like they're not that cold, because Venom 3 is starting to heat up. Like the movie Venom 3 is starting to be talked about. They're about to start production on it. So there's going to be a whole new round of spec. Are they going to use null or not? And Static is like, they've got new series in the works. They're trying to relaunch the Milestone verse or whatever. New special from about the character of Static on like a roundtable discussion on what is it, Nearing Nirvana, the ladies that run Bird City, and like a lot of consciousness in the community about Static right now. I actually think people are looking for 9/8s, but I mean, I get it, Davey. As a seller, you're saying like they don't move. I get it. I'm literally surrounded by slabs that are tough to move. So totally understand the problem. Mike says slab market is smaller with louder money. Yeah, it's true. People who love slabs and have slightly deeper pockets, and you just have to find the buyer. It just takes longer, and mostly my bread and butter is raw books, because you get a lot of them, you sell a lot of them, you ship a lot of them. It's much more liquid. Raws are much more liquid. But like this week, this Sunday, I'm going to be featuring a lot of slabs and emphasizing the slabs. Like anything is, what do I want to say here? Anything is tough to move until you slash it by 20%. If you slash the price by 20% or more, it becomes surprisingly easy to move. It's really just a matter of resistance. So again, let's take it back to this example. And I might be wrong about the FMB of this, but if I'm right and it's around a $40 raw book and high grade and a $200 9/8. Okay, so people are flinching at the $200, right? And then you say, okay, now it's $150. Buy it now. People are gonna boom, buy it right away. You know what I mean? Like I do that all the time. I just bought 3 slabs from a dude on Instagram because he had a special where if you buy multiples, you get 15% off the whole order. And I bought 3 He-Man slabs because A, I love He-Man, and B, they were all the Invincible, different variants of the Invincible preview issue. And I'm like, Invincible season 2 is coming along. Maybe I can keep one and the other ones will heat up, blah, blah, blah. So I sort of had this like logic to why I dropped, $185 on 3 9/8 slabs. Like, as long as you make it an attractive enough offer, it's much easier to sell. So I sort of learned this when I co-hosted with Bryce Comics, another YouTube channel to check out. Of course, you guys already know who he is, but I co-hosted with him and one of his slab sales, and he just like, I mean, granted, he's got a huge following. He's got 80 plus people watching at any time. He just like the way he aggressively priced and like price slabs to move, like 8 slabs up, all $30 a piece, all sold. Okay, 8 slabs up, all $50 a piece, all sold. 8 slabs, you know what I mean? Like there's ways to present it where it's like, okay, now we're going to do a price to move sale. It's sort of like what I did for Black Friday. And you can't always run sales like this and like sell things at a loss or whatever, but I guess back to the Static point, you could sell it for $150 at a huge discount, and it would still be way more than the $40 it's worth as a raw and the $20 extra you spent trying to grade it. That was a long way. That was a long walk to make that point. What's going on, Six Face? Good afternoon. Smokey says the thought that they jump to a brand new character in books, put him in movies, it's a little odd. Are we talking about Null or Static? Says with the He-Man, my hope for that fan of He-Man and Invincible. Well, I'm a fan of He-Man and Invincible. Like for me, it's like that's what. No, yeah, I hear you, man. that's what appeals to me about those books, because I do collect He-Man and I do love Invincible, but I think I'm not the only one that likes both of those things. It's just a fun happenstance that it's one of those books that previews Invincible, because it's got these awesome. It's got like a J. Scott Campbell cover, and some more rare variants of it that I hadn't seen before. I believe those might be in the mail call I'm about to do. Should I open more mail? I'm sort of tired and delirious. I have to drive up to Boston today. I'm going to be playing drums with some friends of mine. So I'm sort of tired. I'm just riffing. Apparently, you guys are here for it. I appreciate it. But I could open some more mail just to like chat and open more mail. Smokey says Static should get something, live action, animation, or whatever. Yeah, like Michael B. Jordan is interested in developing the character or whatever. Like his production company is working on it. So I do think it's happening. I'd be surprised if it didn't happen in the next 5 years. It's just kind of a matter of time, right? Let me go grab some more mail. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Also, like some of those rarer Static books, Davey, like the late issues, the Mobius final issue, and the there's like a mini series that's super low print called Rebirth of the Cool. That I am super hot for that. Like I would love to get that at some point. But it's the one where he's like looking over aviators on the cover in close up. So all of these packages today, I must have gone a little nuts recently with like Instagram small claims. I oftentimes get really pulled in by people like Iron Lion of Zion and fucking Rad and FKN Rad and well, who else? This one is from Iron Lion, and then I also from Comic Talks. So I recently kind of went a little trigger happy with small claims from those guys who they tend to do like static posts, no pun intended, not talking about static, but claim posts with a lot of cheaper books for sale. And when I see a good deal or a book I need or a book I'd like in my inventory, I go for it. Just like all of you guys do. I don't know if I should be buying books like this as a business owner, but I do. It's fun. So let's see what I got from Ian over at Iron Lion. Iron Lion is really Mobius. Yes, I know, Davey. I would love to own that cover. It's so rad. Iron Lion is kind of a madman. He prices stuff like deliberately ridiculously low, and he just has this vibe. All of his claim posts, shout out to Zion, all of his claim posts are like, or Ian, I guess is his name, they're just like rabid. My brother, as a point of comparison, my brother deals vinyl. I do comics and he does vinyl. Shout out to Mega City Records, also here in Providence, Rhode Island. And what he calls that in like a live record show, when you sort of have clean inventory that's priced really low, what happens is you develop what's called a feeding frenzy. And like, so basically it's like a Comic-Con or whatever, like record people have record shows, and so what he likes to do is like price his stuff so aggressively low and have everything presented super clean, so that like all of the record heads in the whole room start flocking to his booth and a feeding frenzy starts. So that's what Zion's claim posts remind me of on Instagram. Like people know, like he's developed such a reputation for having good prices that it's like everyone is just racing to be the first claimer. Like nothing stays up for sale on his post. It's very impressive. I suppose it's all a matter of getting the books cheap enough to be able to offer them that cheaply. So here's what I got from Zion. I don't remember what I paid for these. We'll see how I did later. Who knows how I did. I got a Marvel Premiere 55 Wonder Man key. I've never actually had that before. I like the actor that is cast to play Wonder Man. a little authority book. He was probably charging like a few bucks for this, and I don't have any authority books. This is the first appearance of Hope Summers? That's not right. What's the name, you guys? Help me out here. Astonishing X-Men 6. He was selling this for like $8. That's like has been at different times like a $40 book. Spider-Man #1 newsstand. Abigail Brand, thank you. Spider-Man #1 newsstand. See Todd by Todd. Gotta do it. X-Men Adventures 1. Gamora swimsuit special. Sorry, not sorry. J. Scott Campbell. No, that's not Quake. Quake is the one from Secret War 2, right? Abigail Brand is different than Quake, I'm pretty sure. Laser body massage, Ventress Umbrella McKean. Is he in the house? Scotty Massage, Body McKean. What's up, Scotty? I'm tired. I'm loopy. 11 in the room. What's going on? Good to see everybody. Weird War Tales. Is this the first Creature Commandos? Did I buy the first Creature Commandos? I think I did. I think it's a newsstand. And I think it was pretty cheap. So I'm not mad at that. Yeah, the Gold Wolvie one. Exactamundo. Exacta Mike Del Mundo. Captain America, Zek. Zek goodness. Kind of like this like gift of literacy in the UPC down here. Great cover. So those were my pickups from Zion, from Iron Lion of Zion. If you want, you can give him a follow and be part of the feeding frenzy. You got to turn on notifications for him because it's literally like 5 seconds and you're too late for a lot of the stuff he posts. Dejana Cardenas. This is fucking rad. FKN rad, who also has a similar model, seemingly, of just like huge collections, multiples of books, very attractive pricing. And I can't say no sometimes. Probably should, but I can't. Let's see what I got from fucking rad. A lot of IG sellers. At least I'm buying stuff from IG people and not from eBay or whatever, or even whatnot for that matter. Let's see what I got from fucking rad. This is fun, guys. Thanks for opening the mail with me. As I said before, I'll be doing a sale on Sunday on Instagram, 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern, where some of these books will be available and a lot of the slabs that I showed will be available. But if you were me, you guys, I'm looking at a stack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 12 books that had that same scuff. I think I should just call them to complain, but I don't think I'm going to bother sending them all back. That would be a huge pain in the ass. Whoa, check it out. This is what I'm talking about. 2 copies of Watchmen 1. Very, very high grade. They were probably, he was saying like 9698, and I think he was charging like $25 a piece or something. So I'm excited to check the condition out on those. Maybe they were 30, but high grade Watchmen for that price is great. And he had like 12 of them. Simpsons comics. Gotta pick them up when I see them cheap. First appearance of Simpsons in comics. I think I have like 5 copies of this already, but they were cheap. And I love me some Simpsons. I've been organizing my collection a little bit. Speaking of, I got a Treehouse of Horror here. I think I already... did I have this issue? I'm not sure. I'm trying to build the Treehouse run. I love these covers. Bill Morrison, I've learned, is the artist now. Now I know, since I submitted the Futurama 1 newsstand to the signing with Davey. Oh, these are cool. Check it out. Double signed Death, the High Cost of Living with COA by Chris Bachalo and Neil Gaiman. Double signed. Looks to be maybe like VF near mint or better. Else, a couple more books, and then 2 more packages, and we'll be done. Wow, I've been live over an hour. Whew. I gotta get going, guys. Gotta drive up to Boston. Whew. Okay. Oh, similar vibes. 2 copies V for Vendetta. So it's just another, high grade offering, multiple copies. Seemed kind of like a warehouse find type of deal. And as a grader, as someone who likes to grade books, I like that kind of opportunity to buy multiples. When someone has really fresh stock with multiple copies of an old book, I usually will take a chance, a good price, of course. Usually take a chance with a couple of copies with the hopes that at least one of them is a grading candidate. And that was my haul from FKN Rad on Instagram. So shout out to fucking Rad. Body love with an umbrella. X-Men, green hair, Abigail Brand. Six Face, I went crazy on Marvel Universe 1990 PSA card. Oh, man. Dude, I'm putting together my first PSA submission. I'm planning to do a video about this, by the way, because I did this huge... I participated in a big pack break where I bought a few packs of the 1990 cards and got some great cards. And I've never graded cards before, but I want to try my hand at it. And I want to split it into 2 submissions to try out both grading companies. I want to do... what is the minimum? I think it's 15 or 25 with PSA, and then 15 or 25 or whatever with CGC, and see what happens. Because, I have my eye as a comic grader, and I think I get the criteria as a card grader, but I'm not 100% sure that I know what I'm doing. But I'm eager to find out. PSA 8 set together. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I've learned that PSA 9s and below are relatively affordable. I imagine 8s are fairly affordable. That's a great idea to put a set together in that grade. Nephew isn't a comic guy, but likes Neil Gaiman. Nice. Well, a lot more, casual Sandman fans exist now. Not that he only worked on Sandman, but I had never read Sandman, but I loved the Netflix show and feel I understand the series more. It was always mysterious to me. It felt too dark and heady for me when I was into comics as a teenager. I never approached it. But I sort of had that problem as a kid where, I remember I probably bought like 1 single issue off of the rack of Sandman. In fact, I know I did. I can picture the issue right now. It's probably like the issue where like all the kids like me in the 90s were like, I should see what Sandman's about. And then you're like, I don't get it. And for some reason you're like Ralph Wiggum. And you're like, I bet mine Wookie. Me fail English? That's impossible. But yeah, so I never got it. But I had that problem as a kid where it's like you buy what's on the rack, maybe you check out the back issue bins, but like the idea of like, oh, it's on issue 83 right now, but I should go back and check out issue 1. Like, where do I find issue 1? I could have like befriended the comic shop people and like talked to them about it, but I wasn't that kind of kid. I was just sort of like, well, it looks like I missed the boat on that. Never tried to get back issues. That's why like a book like Infinity Gauntlet, the whole miniseries of Infinity Gauntlet was like such a huge deal for me because I was like there for it. I was like, you know, got issue 1 and was actually reading it and waiting for the next ones to come out. That was like huge for me as a kid. Which is why I use the Gauntlet logo for my business, for better or worse. Okay, so this last haul here is from Justin Bennett, aka Comic Talks, another good Instagram dealer who has a lot of cheaper books for cheap. So I claimed from him X-Men 282, Can't Have Too Much Bishop in Your Life. I don't think I claimed this. Maybe it was a freebie. Green Arrow. Maybe, I don't know. A Silver Surfer 53rd printing. I'm pretty sure I have a third printing, but I wanted to be sure. I wanted to be extra sure. Just like, this is probably like $1, but it was like just a cool Galactus cover. Cataclysm Last Stand #1. This happened to be a Surfer issue I need for my run. Surfer 39. 26 I think was a throw-in because I'm sure I have that one. Another, I think I probably claimed them both if they were both $1. And here's another one, Cataclysm #2. I swear, I think I'm psychic because I've been picking up ROM ahead of like Nick from Key Collector doing a random spec blast about ROM this week, but ROM 74 is the second to last issue. And I just I have a lot of ROMs. I've never read it. I don't really even, I wasn't like a ROM fan, but I kind of just dig the character design and like the simplicity of the typography, and just, I like the fact that it's a 75 issue run. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I keep picking up ROM issues sort of like in a half-assed way, trying to build a run. I must have I think I probably in some collection, there's the final issue, Death of Scanner or something is the key on that, 75. I probably got like a bunch of ROM in some kind of a collection, and then I've been sort of chasing it in a very half-assed way since then. Tastes like burning. Iron helps us play. That's a different high-pitched Simpsons character. It's clear I never read Sandman looking for issue 83 when it ended at 75. Oopsie. Yikes. I know you do. Smokey bought my nephew Sandman issue 19 error 98 because he heard about the guy who made Red. A couple people and left a copy of that book on their bodies. Murdered a couple people. It's scary. More power to your nephew. Happy collecting. Lobo, just a random Lobo book, was probably $1. I thought it was kind of a cool cover. Chain of Love. That's gnarly. It's like he's got, I mean, I guess they're not dead women, but he's like literally standing in a pile of women. They're happy women. Yeah, that's what they are. Happy. Yeah. Lobo #1. I remember hearing that this series was god-awful, this sort of rebranding of Lobo for the New 52, but it's a key book, and it's an issue #1. Swamp Thing 129. I probably bought that because it was $1, and I've had people asking me for Swamp Thing lately. Bitch Planet #2, again, very cheap. And first appearance of Spot in a newsstand. I keep kind of buying and selling this book. I am so excited for the Across the Spider-Verse movie. I can't not tell you. Into the Spider-Verse was so great, and I'm excited to see the follow-up. Fun story, in New Year's Eve of 2019, I believe it was in the theater, and I was in Providence even before I lived here, and we went to go see Into the Spider-Verse in the theater on New Year's Eve. And my brother was DJing a party in Providence that we were trying to make it to by midnight to like count down the clock with people. So we exited Into the Spider-Verse in the Providence Mall, like, and it was like 11:50. Like we had 10 minutes to make it from the movie theater parking lot or the mall parking lot to the party across town where my brother was DJing. And we were just like pumped having just seen that movie. And just like, I mean, I wasn't even back into comics yet at that point. And needless to say, my girlfriend and her friend weren't into comics either. But we all loved the movie and we were all super pumped. And I got us to the party as they were counting down from 10. It was a really fun memory. And then it was a great party from there on out. It's a Gaiman book with a real life twist. He dug it. Nice. Baloney, having a random 3 to 4 X-Men run from CVS growing up. Exactly. You just take what you get, right? I remember like going to the 5 and Dime in Newton, Mass, and like buying the issue, that was available. And I didn't have a pull list. You pick up runs where you can. I don't know. It's very catch as catch can. This was a speculation buy. I haven't read this series, but Justin at Comic Talks had a really attractive price on a double signed Bitch Planet #1 in the Ghost variant. And it's just like for the price and the fact that there aren't that many of these out there, I'm happy to buy this and just hold on to it for a while. It seems like the news of it being made is relatively serious or concrete, if you will, and people who like the series really like the series. So I have some high hopes for it. Have a cool collectible, should anyone want it in the future. All right, that's everything, guys. We got through the whole mail call. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up, but I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me here in such an impromptu fashion. And I encourage you again to like the video, to subscribe for more content like this. I swear, you guys, I really would love to do more YouTube content when I can sort of get myself organized, as they say, when I get my workflow kind of up and running. I would love to do more YouTube content because I have like a list of topics I want to talk about comics in general. I have a list of like 25 YouTube topics that would all make for, I think, a decent video. And as it stands, all I have time for is like these like live unboxings every once in a while. But anyway, this is just my aspiration for the future. I hope to do more content in the future. And if you liked this video at all, just do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite books were from this. And if you were interested in buying anything that you saw today, you can direct message me over on Instagram at mmcomicsales, and we can talk. We can talk turkey. All right? All right, everybody. Touch the button gently. Caress it. Nicely said, Davey. Smokey, I will see you later. Scotty the body. Peace out, my friend. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. I'm going to go drive to Boston. Bye. Bye.